of the AFC Champions League 2020, Ulsan Hyundai.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
Hello, I'm Ashton McCall. Welcome to The Weekend, a bite-sized preview edition of the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Neat, and coming up in this week's episode, Peter Hampshire looks ahead to FA Cup Round 2, and Busan IPark defender Valentinos Sielis joins us to talk about his start to the new campaign and the South Coast side's chances in the FA Cup. But first, here are the headlines we are following this week. The Yokohama disaster. Korea suffer heavy defeat away to rivals Japan, losing 3-0 in Yokohama. Manager Paulo Bento says he is aware of how important the match is and takes responsibility for the defeat. FC Seoul captain Ki Sung-young has filed for damages for what he calls false accusations of sexual misconduct. The former Korean national team skipper is seeking 500 million Korean won, or around $440,000 in damages. And Ki's FC Seoul teammate Park Jong-bin has agreed to pay compensation to Jeonnam Dragons for not giving the K-League 2 side first refusal when returning to Korea. The winger has until the end of June to pay 150 million Korean won and will pay 30 million up front, according to a report in Sports Seoul. We start with Thursday's international friendly match between Japan and South Korea. 10 years on from their last friendly match with Japan, the Taeguk Warriors suffered defeat by the same scoreline, losing 3-0 in what much of the Korean press are calling the Yokohama disaster. Korea boss Paulo Bento says that the book stops with him though, and accepts that the experiment to play Lee Gang-in as a false nine did not work. Korea were without several key names, including captain Son Heung-min, but Bento remarked that any notion of the result being different had he been able to call upon the overseas stars would just be an excuse. The team returned on Friday and will go into cohort isolation at the National Football Centre in Paju for a week, bypassing the 14-day quarantine that is normally required. Former national team captain Ki Sung-young on Monday filed a civil lawsuit against the two former teammates who accuse him of sexual misconduct. Ki is claiming 500 million Korean won, or around $440,000 in damages. His lawyers announced on Monday that a case has been filed with the Seoul Central District Court. This after two former primary school teammates made accusations of physical and sexual abuse dating back to January to June in the year 2000. From the offset, Ki Sung-young denied all accusations. Ki, meanwhile, is in the form of his life, having scored in each of his last 3 matches as FC Seoul moved up to second in the table. Ki bagged a last-minute Gyeonggi Derby winner, his first for Seoul since returning to K-League. Then, a few days later, scored a late winner at home to Gwangju FC. He then scored Seoul's equaliser in the 2-1 Supermatch win over Suwon Blue Wings last Sunday. And the player who scored the winner in the Supermatch was Park Jong-bin, and he has signed a new agreement with Jeonnam Dragons whereby he will pay 150 million Korean won, or around $132,000 in compensation. This for not giving the K-League 2 side first refusal when returning to Korea. Park has spent most of his career abroad, but returned from Europe in the winter to join FC Seoul. And according to reports, Jeonnam believed that they had an agreement in place with Park and had gone on record to say that they were disappointed that he had not contacted them, nor had he paid the compensation fee. Park Jong-bin has featured 6 times for FC Seoul this season, but started just once. His first goal came in the Supermatch last weekend. Leaving FC Seoul is Uzbekistan international midfielder Ikamyan Aybayev. It was announced on Tuesday that an agreement had been reached between FC Seoul and Aybayev to terminate his contract. The midfielder, who joined FC Seoul in 2019, hasn't featured since the 3-0 defeat to Jeonbuk last July due to injury. The 27-year-old returned to Korea earlier this month after a hernia operation in Germany and is now being linked with a move to K-League 2 team Daejeon Hana Citizen. In other K-League news, Incheon United say they are considering asking Interpol for help in investigating a fraudster who conned the club out of 200 million won. A complaint has been filed with the South Korean police asking them to investigate someone who pretended to be representing Denizlispor, the club which Incheon signed Nigerian striker Kehinde from in 2019. However, Incheon say they are also considering asking Interpol to intervene. According to Incheon, in August 2019, someone claiming to be from the Turkish Superliga side sent them an email asking Incheon to send 200 million Korean won won, or around $176,000 to cover Gehinde's salary. However, it was later discovered that this person was not connected to the club at all or the player. Gehinde's time at Incheon was cut short due to injury, but the powerful striker helped the Blue Blacks survive relegation in 2019. He made 14 appearances and scored once in the 2-0 win over Gwangju FC. Meanwhile, Jong Sung-won has signed a new contract with Daegu FC. Jong sought mediation due to a dispute over image rights, and it looked as though the wingback was heading for the exit door at DGB Daegu Bank Park, but he's since signed a deal to keep him at the club for the 2021 season, and according to media reports, could feature against Pohang Steelers next weekend. In other K-League 1 news, Gangwon FC picked up their first win of the season last time out, emerging as 2-0 victors at home to Incheon United thanks to goals from Ashermatov and Ko Mu-yeol. Suwon FC remained without a win but salvaged a late draw away to Jeonbuk last weekend, during which Park Ji-soo for the third game in a row either gave away a penalty or was sent off. On his Suwon debut against Songnam, Park was given his marching orders only to then have the red card overturned. In the following match, Suwon's 4-1 defeat to Incheon 3 days later, he was also sent off, shown a second yellow card in the 70th minute, but again had his sending off overturned. Then in Suwon's 1-1 draw with Jeonbuk, Park handled in the area, leading to Stanislav Ilyachenko giving Jeonbuk the lead. Suwon FC though will be helped defensively by the signing of centre-back Kim Ju-won from Jeonnam Dragons. It was reported on Wednesday that the 29-year-old is set to join Kim Do-kyun's side on a free transfer. Meanwhile, Pohang Steelers are on a run of 4 without a victory, and Suwon Blue Wings, who had the league's best defence, now share the accolade with Songnam and Jeju following the Supermatch loss to FC Seoul. It is Cup weekend here in South Korea, and although the big boys of K-League 1 do not enter the competition until rounds 3 and 4, our Peter Hampshire takes a look at some of the standout matches of round 2 involving K-League 2 sides.
All 10 K-League 2 teams enter the FA Cup this weekend as the competition reaches the second round. While there are no all K-League ties, there are plenty of intriguing matchups, including K-League 2 versus K5 clashes as Busan FC 1995 face Gimhae J-Mix and Seoul Elan take on Songwol. Should the Leopards emerge victorious, a first Seoul derby against FC Seoul awaits. The columnists here at K-League United look ahead to the second round of the 2021 Korean FA Cup. Bucheon currently sits 6th in K-League 2 with 1 win and 2 draws in 4 games. They failed to score more than once in a single league match this season, but do boast a strong defence. Coming up against the K5 team for the first time in their history, Bucheon reached the semi-finals of the Cup in 2016, knocking out K-League 1 sides Pohang Steelers and Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors on their way to the last 4. However, the Gyeonggi Province Club have not made it past their first match since 2017. Last year, Bucheon lost to then K4 side Ulsan Citizen 1-0, and they have been knocked out by lower league teams in other years too, such as Incheon University in 2015 and Jeonju Citizen in 2013. Gimhae J-Mix, well, they are competing in their first ever FA Cup and have absolutely nothing to lose. The winners will either face Shihung Citizen or it could be a derby against Gimhae FC in round 3 for the J-Mix. Busan IPark, they have had an inconsistent start to 2021 with 2 hard-fought wins offset by thrashings at the hands of Seoul Elan and Cheongnam Asan. Coach Ricardo Perez will see Saturday's FA Cup tie as an opportunity to give some minutes to some fringe and youth players, so there could be debuts for the likes of keeper Jin Pil-rip and winger Oh Jong-won. Busan were knocked out in the quarter-finals of this competition last year by Jeonbuk, but they will fancy their chances against the city's citizen side, Jeonju FC. Jeonju cruised through the first round with a 9-0 thumping of 5-2-3 FC, but they've endured a difficult start to life in the K4 after being relegated last season from the K3. Having started the season with 3-0 and 5-0 defeats in the 4th tier, a run to the third round of the Cup would be seen as a major accomplishment. Busan, well, they won this competition once in 2004, overcoming Bucheon SK/Jeju United. A victory for either side would set up a round 3 clash with K1 side Songnam FC. Seoul Ilan then, they've had an excellent start to K2 this season, but now their attention turns to the FA Cup. Seoul might play some younger players in this tie and feature some rookie prospects who haven't played yet in the league. Leandro as well, a key man, he might see some game time as he was taken off against Gyeongnam last time out in the second half. Seoul, they don't have much good fortune in the FA Cup. The best they managed was in 2019 when they went out to eventual finalist Daejeon Korail. They shouldn't take the smaller teams for granted with a memorable tie back in 2018 when they were knocked out by Korea University on penalties. Seoul will likely play a younger side, needing game time to set up that juicy tie with FC Seoul in the next round. Songwol, they won convincingly in the last round, so it shows they can score and put the ball in the back of the net, and if they go all out attacking against Eland, they could get that shock and an early goal. Jeonnam Dragons then, they have a great record in the FA Cup with only 3 teams bettering them: Suwon Blue Wings, Pohang Steelers and Jeonbuk. However, last time the Dragons won that title was back in 2007. Last season they were knocked out by eventual winners Jeonbuk, but the champions did require extra time in a 3-2 thriller. Jeonnam faced K5 team Daegu Chongsol and boast a convincing record against lower league opposition in the FA Cup, never losing to any team lower than K2 in the competition's history. The South Jeolla side are in relatively good form, currently one of just 2 unbeaten sides in the K-League 2, and may not be expecting much from Daegu Chongsol. An away tie with K-League 1 outfit Suwon FC awaits the victors. Daejeon Hana Citizen, meanwhile, they make the trip north to Gyeonggi province to take on K3 outfit Paju Citizen. Paju overcame K4 side Seoul No One United away from home in round 1 to set up this Sunday's tie. Paju, they were crowned K4 champions last season, and in their first season in the 3rd tier are unbeaten with 2 draws from their first 2 games. In 2019, Paju recorded their best ever run in the competition by making it to the round of 16. That was after entering at the 3rd round stage. They beat university sides before eventually losing 2-0 to K1 outfit Gangwon FC, and that defeat was Paju's only meeting to date with a K-League team. Sunday will be the first ever meeting between the 2 sides. Daejeon, though, they have faced non-K-League opposition on 22 occasions since 2001, winning 18 and losing just 4. The most recent loss to a team outside of K-League came in 2019 when the Purples were shocked by Dankook University on penalties following a 2-2 draw. Daejeon won this competition back in 2001 and came close shortly after, but haven't made it past the round of 16 since 2012. The winners will play Suwon Samsung Blue Wings at the Big Bird in somewhat of a glamour tie. Elsewhere, Ansan Greeners begin their FA Cup campaign with a trip to K4 side Yangpyeon FC, and there may be eyes across the continent on this one, as it looks like Indonesian signing Asnawi Mangkualam will be making his first start for the club. 2019 runners-up Daejeon Korail, they host Gyeongnam FC in a potential banana skin for Seoul Ki-hun's side. 4th tier Goyang Citizen may feel a little sheepish on their visit to informed Cheongnam Asan, while FC Anyang look to get back to winning ways at home to Cheonan City. Thanks to all our K2 columnists for putting that together, and back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much for that, Peter. Now, some matches in the FA Cup this weekend are being played behind closed doors, some with fans in attendance. Busan IPark were allowed just 200 fans to attend their match with Jeonju FC and so offered the tickets for free to their fans on a first-come, first-served basis. One man who could be playing for Busan this weekend is Cyprus international defender Valentinos Sielis. Valentinos made the switch from Jeju United to Ricardo Perez's Busan IPark over the winter and thus far has played every single minute of Busan's first 4 matches of the new season. We caught up with Valentinos earlier this week to talk about the move to Busan and what the FA Cup means to a club battling for promotion. Here's what he had to say. Valentinos, hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm good. First of all, it seems like you only play for K-League clubs that have got a good beach nearby. Gangneung, Jeju, and now Busan.
Yeah, I think it's my destiny because as we spoke last time, my country is on the beach. So yeah, maybe that's my destiny to be near the beach.
How is life in Busan?
It's really good. Especially now with my family being here, we're really enjoying Busan. It's a beautiful city, a combination of the nature and the big city vibes with the beach. So it's great. Yeah, we're enjoying it.
How did the move materialize? Because I'm sure there would have been other teams in the K-League that wanted to sign you as well. Why Busan?
it was a hard year because I didn't play a lot. Some clubs were worried that maybe there was something wrong with me or I was injured, which was none of that was true. I was perfectly fine. It was just tactical wise that I wasn't used, and I respect it. All players want to play, but only 11 can be on the pitch. So the job of a coach is really hard, and I understand it. So it was a hard year for me, and some clubs didn't know, and I didn't have many options, but as soon as Busan came in, I had some options outside of Korea, which I didn't want to take because I'm having a really good time here. And I consider Korea the paradise of Asia. So I'm very, how can I say, I feel like home being here. So I wouldn't change for another country so easily. So as soon as I got the offer from Busan, it was a great opportunity for me. So I just took it without even thinking. On the same day, I flew here, had medical checks, signed, and then went back to pack my stuff and come here.
FA Cup this weekend. Now, obviously, as a team like Busan IPark, you want to win promotion back to K-League 1. Is the FA Cup a distraction? Is it something that you don't really take seriously because you want to focus more of your energy on winning the league or getting in the playoffs?
No. FA Cup is not a distraction because that's when you show your true colors, and you actually have some huge obstacles to go through. Big clubs from the K-League 1, if you're lucky to go further. And it's just a beautiful competition, I think, FA Cup, because in a few games you can actually get a cup and win at the FA Cup and go to the Asian Champions League, which is something amazing. So I don't think for any club FA Cup is a distraction because, like I said, in order for us, the only way to go in this dream, I know it's a very hard thing to win the FA Cup, but winning the FA Cup in maybe 6-7 games, you can actually bring huge incomes to the club from participating in a Champions League. And I'm not talking just Busan, I'm talking about all the clubs participating. So I don't find it a distraction. I think it's actually a great competition.
Yeah, and obviously, as you know from your time in the UK, that there's a certain romance associated with the FA Cup over there, and it makes you start to dream. You believe maybe it is possible, and this is why we like football, isn't it? It's about these occasions.
I think before, was it 2 years ago, Ulsan Korail, they went to the final. Was it Ulsan Korail? I'm not sure the name.
Daejeon Korail, yeah.
Daejeon Korail, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see, anything is possible in Korea because I think the gap between the leagues is not that high. And especially if it's only 2 games or 1 game, then I think all the clubs should give their best in the FA Cup because it's a beautiful competition.
Yeah, my personal opinion is that the final should be 1 game. What do you think about that? And obviously, the final is obviously many games away. But if, as you said, in 2019, if Daejeon Korail, it had been 1 game, they might have won that.
Yeah, exactly. Football is beautiful because in just 90 minutes, things you can either write history or you can be history on the bad way. I think FA Cup should always be 1 game because that's when you give your best. You have 90 minutes to give everything. And if you succeed, then you write history. And like you said, if Daejeon played 1 game last year, Daejeon Korail, they would have won it. So who knows?
Exactly. So obviously, it sounds as though the club are going to take this game on Saturday against Jeonju FC very seriously. Obviously, I think you said yesterday that you've been doing some video work. You've been watching some of their stuff.
We're working on our things. We always work on our good and our bad things from every game, and we don't just hide behind our fingers. If we do something wrong, we show it, we work on it, and we try to get better. So yeah, we've been working hard for this game also. We don't just consider FA Cup just a stroll on the park. It's a serious game for us. And yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to ask you to tell me what the team is, but are you expecting to be in the team tomorrow? Is it going to be a full-strength team?
I'm not sure. The coach hasn't showed anything yet, but I'm sure whoever is going to play is going to give his best, and whoever is on in this team is worth playing in the best 11. So I'm positive about tomorrow.
Valentinos, thank you very much for your time. Good luck this weekend, and of course, good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll catch up again later.
Thank you. You're always welcome to visit us here, and whatever you need, I'm only a call away.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeague United with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
Thank you once again to Valentinos. Stay tuned though, the full version of that interview will be available next week, and a special Director's Cut video version will be available for K-League United Patreons. Gimcheon Sangmu will not be able to recruit any new players next winter, meaning that the last opportunity for any unserved players is this May or June. This is according to a report in Sports Chosun, which broke on Thursday afternoon. The age limit to join Sangmu is 27, and so players like Kwon Chang-hoon, Lee Young-jae and Ko Sung-bom will be too old, and so they will have to apply to join Gimcheon Sangmu this season. But as Kwon Chang-hoon is currently playing overseas, he would have to return to K-League on loan first before joining Gimcheon Sangmu. He had previously planned to join Suwon Blue Wings this summer, but this has now become impossible for the midfielder to do so. The rule change will be seen as a disaster for K-League clubs, who will now lose players sooner than expected. In other K-League 2 news, Seoul Eland remain unbeaten, and with just one goal conceded following the 0-0 draw away to Gyeongnam FC last week, Daejeon move up to third with a win over FC Anyang, while Ansan Greeners sit second thanks to the win over Cheongnam Asan. 7th down to 10th all sit on 4 points in the second tier. The man who scored the winner for Ansan Greeners away to Cheongnam Asan was Robson Duarte. He said that he insisted to teammate Chae Gon-ju that he was going to take the penalty. Speaking to Best 11 in a post-match interview, Duarte said that he was confident of scoring and so demanded that he took the spot kick, and because Chae Gon-ju allowed him to take, Duarte will return the favour should an opportunity present itself later in the season. Ansan are in action on Sunday at home to Yangpyeong in a game which could see the first ASEAN quota player in K-League as Nori Mankulam make his Greeners debut. And finally, to some transfer news, Han Jong-woo has moved from Suwon FC to Dundalk in the League of Ireland Premier Division. Han says that he's 100% fit and hopes to be part of the squad to face Finn Harps on Friday night local time. Jeonnam Dragons officially confirmed the acquisition of Jonathan Balotelli, and Jong Da-hwan has officially completed his move to Philippine side United City. That is it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. There is a full round-wide preview available for this weekend's FA Cup action on kleague.com. Individual match previews are available on kleagueunited.com. As always, we are on social media, all at K-League United, and to find us, the link is, as always, in the Bruno bio. Until next time, goodbye.
스코어 2대0 김남춘의 추가골. 지금 이준영 선수가 김남춘